Being the main character might sound amazing, but for Gumball Watterson, it's an absolute nightmare. From getting blamed for things he didn't even do, to having his entire life fall apart because of his bad luck. Today, we're going to be going over every single reason why it sucks to be born as Gumball, starting with the episode, The Curse. And in this episode, Gumball is literally cursed with bad luck. So bad that it almost kills him multiple times in a single day. The episode begins with the Watterson family, waiting in the hallway for Gumball to finish his shower, and while they're waiting, Anais asks if they can go to Daisyland. But of course, Nicole explains that the tickets are way too expensive. Meanwhile, in the bathroom, Gumball sleeps in a bar of soap, falls into the toilet, and gets flushed straight into the sewer. Yeah, his day is already off to a great start. Later, as Gumball, Darwin, and Anais try to catch the bus to school, Gumball misses his chance to board and ends up being dragged by his finger all the way there.
Well, it seems like it's not my day, but that's okay, because it's nothing a good song won't fix.
Trying to stay positive, he tries to cheer himself up with a song, only to be stomped on by Hector. With his clothes now completely ripped up, Principal Brown insists he wears something more appropriate. At the Lost and Found, Rocky gives him short trunks that don't fit and a fedora, which makes Banana Joe burst out laughing. Gumball fires back with an insult.
Where's Brian from? The dollar store?
But Principal Brown walks in at the worst possible moment, gets offended, and sentences Gumball to detention.
Hurting my feelings.
What? But
I'll see you after school.
fine.
And to make things worse, Gumball gets a paper cut from the detention slip and starts crying. During detention, Principal Brown leaves and Gumball relaxes until Brown angrily slams the door, setting off a massive chain reaction. A light cover falls onto books, launching pencils at Gumball. A fan knocks over items, breaking a radiator cap, letting out gas into the room. Gumball runs just as the room explodes, shooting him into a mop bucket that sends him down the Elmore Expressway. He ends up speeding toward an unfinished highway section and falls straight into a gorge. Gumball wakes up in the hospital, barely surviving the whole thing. So in one day, Gumball got flushed down a toilet, dragged by a bus, stomped on, given detention for no reason, exploded out of a room, and thrown into a gorge. I would hate to be Gumball right now. In the episode The Meddler, Gumball's life gets even more embarrassing when his mom, Nicole, decides to follow him to school and treat him like a baby the entire day. The episode opens with Nicole coming home from work and falling asleep on the couch next to Richard, who's busy watching TV. Gumball comes home shortly after and tries to share stories about his day at school, but neither of them pay attention. Feeling neglected, Gumball storms off to his room and accidentally wakes up his mother. Nicole apologizes for not paying him much attention and promises she'll spend more time with him the next day. At school the next morning, Gumball and Darwin run into Penny in the hallway. Gumball asks her if she'd like to come see his new cartwheel trick after school, but she explains that she wants to go to cheerleader tryouts instead. After Gumball embarrasses himself in front of her, he opens his locker and finds his mother cramped inside.
Way you talk to girls?
Mom, what are you doing here?
Well, you said you wanted more attention, so I followed you to school.
Nicole explains that she followed them to school to give them more attention all week, which they find absolutely humiliating. They soon run into Tina and her gang of bullies in the hallway, who make fun of Gumball and call him a baby. Nicole tells Gumball to stand up to Tina, because she only bullies people due to her own insecurities. This turns out to be correct, as Tina runs away in embarrassment.
Glandular!
Wow, it actually worked.
Jamie admits that standing up to Tina is pretty cool, but reminds him that his mother won't always be there to protect him. Nicole takes Gumball by the hand and tells him that she'll be there for him as long as she needs him to, which makes Gumball run away from her, accidentally running into Principal Brown. Principal Brown's hair burns multiple times and eventually grows back because of the collision, and he gives Gumball 8 hours of detention with Nicole's help. So not only does Gumball have to deal with his mom embarrassing him at school, but he also gets 8 hours of detention because of her. And as if that wasn't bad enough, his next trip to the mall turns out to be one of the most uncomfortable days of his life. The awkwardness starts where Gumball needs to buy ketchup at the mall. On his way there, he ends up bumping into Hot Dog Guy. This leads to an awkward reunion between the two that results in them becoming in sync.
Oh, this is awkward.
The two try to get away from each other, but when that fails, they just accept that they'll have to ride the same bus together. During this awkward bus ride, Gumball tries to find peace within his happy place, but with how crowded the bus is, his happy place doesn't last long. He jumps off the bus with Hot Dog Guy following.
Okay, look, we're clearly walking in the same direction. Let's just acknowledge that and move forward.
Yeah, it's only weird if we make it weird. I mean, we should just relax and coexist. There's nothing weird about that.
The two head to the elevator where it temporarily breaks down. After that, they're both gonna be trapped for days. Gumball and Hot Dog Guy start sharing dark secrets. They start to form a temporary bond, but that bond is shattered once the elevator door opens, revealing Tobias videotaped the whole thing.
It was a video!
Gumball runs to hide, but Hot Dog Guy shows up. The boys must scale the walls together to get out. Gumball finally arrives at the grocery store to grab his ketchup, but of course, he bumps into Hot Dog Guy yet again. Having enough, both of them start running away from each other.
I'm running away from you!
No, I'm running away from you!
But they end up running in the same direction. Since the two are so focused on getting away from each other, they run out of the store without paying. The mall cop stops the two and handcuffs them together. Not taking the officer seriously, the two run away.
Quick, that way!
No, I say we go that way.
Why? That's where he went!
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to get you back.
Gumball and Hot Dog Guy try to escape, but the mall cop locks them from the exit. The impact manages to knock the officer out, and the boys free themselves from the handcuffs. So Gumball's simple trip to get ketchup turned out to be one of the most awkward days of his life. Yikes. But his awkward encounters with Hot Dog Guy are far from over. The cringe picks up where the awkwardness left off, with Gumball and Hot Dog Guy still trying to figure out why their relationship is so weird. After another uncomfortable encounter at school, they decide they need to figure out what's going on. Gumball suggests they audition for Elmore's Got Talent. They do so. They cringe so hard watching it from TV at the Wattersons' house that the two pass out and end up in the hospital.
You boys are very lucky to be alive. You have experienced a cringe level of 100,000 DJ. That's the equivalent of hearing 100,000 dad jokes all at once. I highly recommend stopping whatever it is you're doing before you end up with the clenching muscles of a 40-year-old clam.
Thank you, Doctor, but we've done enough.
Their last attempt at fixing things is when Gumball pretends that he's Hot Dog Guy's new dad, and it's so cringe that they literally crumple like paper.
It's a good one. I can already feel it echoing through time.
Gumball then notices a picture when he and Hot Dog Guy were in kindergarten and finally figures it out. They've known each other for a long time. As a last resort, they make a box which gives them the power to see their past memories. It shows they've been close since they were babies, getting into awkward situations like Gumball sitting on Hot Dog Guy's lap on the bus. Horrified, they decide this is only making things worse. Gumball and Hot Dog Guy destroy all their past memories and hug it out. But then they immediately do something awkward again. I guess the universe really doesn't want Gumball to catch a break. But if you thought Gumball's life was hard now, you haven't seen anything yet. But while Gumball's dealing with awkward encounters, his next problem is way more embarrassing. In the dress, Gumball's forced to wear his mom's wedding dress to school. The episode starts with Gumball and Darwin attempting to glide down the stairs with ice cubes, but completely failing. Gumball finds Richard asleep in the garden, who tells him that he was doing the laundry when Nicole told him not to. Gumball's clothes have shrunk and no longer fit him, forcing him to wear Nicole's wedding dress to school. When Gumball's class sees him outside, they don't recognize him, so he makes up a fake name based on what he sees around him. They all believe him and head off to school. When they get to class, Miss Simeon falls for the act as well. Gumball is confused until Anais explains that anyone will do anything for a beautiful girl, which the students believe he is. Darwin sees Gumball and falls in love with him, not knowing it's his brother.
She will be mine.
Darwin sends a love letter, asking to meet him at the Stomach Destroyer roller coaster after school. Gumball goes on the coaster with Darwin, where Darwin tells him that he loves her and tries to kiss her.
I love you.
Gumball comes home terrified, and Anais tells him to just tell Darwin the truth, but Gumball refuses. So they come up with a plan to stop Darwin from loving Gumball. They stage a goodbye with a bus. When Darwin shows up, Gumball hides in the bus and attaches the dress to a balloon with his face poorly drawn on it. The balloon flies towards the sun and pops, leaving Darwin heartbroken. Gumball cheers Darwin up, but just when he feels better, Darwin immediately falls in love with a fire hydrant that the dress landed on. Yeah. I don't know how Darwin didn't recognize his own brother in a dress, but Gumball's problems with Darwin are far from over. The girlfriend starts with Jamie terrorizing the school cafeteria like usual, but this time she's not after food. She's after something way worse, a boyfriend. And guess who she picks? Darwin. At first, Darwin doesn't see the problem, but Gumball knows exactly what's up. Jamie isn't asking Darwin to be her boyfriend, she's forcing him. And when Gumball tries to help Darwin get out of this mess, Jamie makes it clear, if Darwin ignores her or tries to break up with her, there will be serious consequences. She shoves Gumball in a locker and proceeds to beat the absolute life out of him while he's still inside, leaving him in pieces with black eyes. But it gets worse. Jamie starts following Darwin everywhere, feeding him Gumball's food, threatening Gumball constantly, and even attacking Sarah just for saying hi to Darwin.
Just don't talk.
Hey, guys.
So how long has this been going on?
What?
No one asked for your opinion, you frozen freak! Do you know what happens when you mess with my man?
I think you might be overreacting.
At one point, Jamie forces Gumball to literally turn himself into a bench so she can sit on him with Darwin. Bro is being used as furniture. Then Jamie decides that since Gumball gets to spend so much time with Darwin, she should start dating him too. So now Gumball is being forced to be Jamie's boyfriend against his will, getting terrorized everywhere he goes. Eventually, Jamie corners Gumball in the library, but she realizes something. Love is earned, not taken. Darwin rushes in to save Gumball and accidentally repeats what she just realized back to her, which she interprets as calling her dumb. So naturally, she sucker punches him.
Dude, all you had to do was keep your mouth shut and say nothing.
Yeah, Gumball really can't catch a break. But things are about to get even worse when he finally gets the chance to go on a date with Penny. In the episode, The Date, Gumball announces to his family that he's going on a date with Penny, and Nicole is absolutely losing it. But then Richard pulls Gumball aside and tells him that women don't actually want someone to be themselves. They want someone successful. So naturally, Richard decides to help by taking Gumball shopping at the greatest department store in the world, The Dump. Richard finds Gumball a fancy ringmaster suit in a pile of garbage, and when Gumball complains about how disgusting that is, Richard casually mentions that he fished Gumball's favorite sweater out of the sewage outlet.
That sweater?
What? My favorite sweater came out of the dump?
No, don't be silly. I found it in a sewage outlet.
Oh, man. I wear this all the time.
Yeah, Gumball wears that thing all the time. Then Anais tries to teach him how to be fancy by having tea parties with her dolls, which goes horribly wrong when Gumball insults one of them and stomps on a teacup.
Gumball, just get out of my room.
And to top it all off, Darwin trains him to deal with the unexpected by randomly slapping him and making him attack cardboard cutouts. So the day finally comes and Gumball shows up at Penny's house ready for the perfect date. Except it's not a date at all. It's a funeral for Penny's pet, Mr. Cuddles. So instead of being sympathetic, Gumball laughs it off thinking it's no big deal. But then he finds out Mr. Cuddles isn't just some cute furry pet. He's a tarantula! Gumball freaks out, destroys the memorial poster, and makes Penny's little sister cry.
Listen, son, I think it's best you leave.
I'll let myself out.
But it gets worse. Gumball finds Mr. Cuddles alive in the bathroom and tries to show everyone, but the spider jumps on his face. Gumball screams, falls through a window, grabs a shovel, and smacks the spider off, only to get bitten multiple times. He ends up in the hospital completely covered in purple blisters, and just when you think it's over, Penny brings Mr. Cuddles to apologize. The spider lunges at Gumball's face again as the episode ends. Pro literally cannot win. So yeah, being Gumball Watterson is basically a full-time job of suffering. And because you watched all the way to the end, you should probably click on the video on the screen right now, unless you want your life to be as cursed as Gumball's.